We're gonna do a slow flow and really relax. So guess what? We're gonna start laying down.
I love you.
Yeah, we're constructive rest though. So keep your knees bent and your feet planted. Here, let me pop your mat up. You should be unrolled now. Just take a minute, get present. Okay, before we fall asleep, go ahead and stretch your left leg out, and then bring your right knee, nope, on the ground, yep, on the ground. Bring your right knee into your chest. Just give it a little squeeze, maybe try to draw your knee toward your right armpit. And then we're gonna take that knee, we're gonna twist to the left. So you're gonna roll onto your left hip. Let your knee drop to the ground. Try to keep both your shoulder blades on the ground. Your left hand can rest on top of your right thigh, kind of giving a little extra gravity.
Encouragement.
Encouraging it to release a little bit. If that's too much, you can bring your left hand to your chest, extend it out, whatever feels good. Slowly come back to center. Give that one a nice little hug in again. And then you can switch. Extend your right leg long and pull your left knee in towards your chest. Squeezing that in. Maybe moving it around a little bit. And then rolling over to your right side, releasing that left leg to the ground on the right. Coming back towards center and then lifting up your right leg to meet your left, hugging both knees into your chest and drawing little circles on your low back. Kind of wind and release a little bit, a little low back massage. When you're done circling that way, circle the other way. Lifting your sit bones, your sacrum up and then lowering them down. And then go ahead and release your feet to the floor, keeping your knees bent. We're going to kind of just windshield wiper the knees, so both knees drop to the left or right, whichever way you're going, and then both knees drop over to the other side. Trying to keep your hips grounded so that you're not fully rotating, just rotating your femur in your hip socket, kind of. Give you a little bit of mobility. Back to center, and then we're going to hug those knees in again. And from here, we're going to take a couple of rolls. So if you need to, you can plant your feet and use your hands behind your thighs to bring yourself up, and then roll yourself back down. If it feels good to roll like a ball, hug your knees and roll on up. You can still hold the back of your thighs to roll, and roll on down. And come on up. And down.
No, excuse me.
Hey, get it. That's what it's for. Release.
It's the best suspense.
Oh, yeah, those will do it. One more roll back, and the next time you come up, go ahead and, nope, you're good. Plant your feet. And we're gonna come into our easy seat. Very nice, and then we're gonna do our little seated flow that we've gone through quite a few times. So with this one, inhale, arms rise, and then exhale, fold to the one side. Inhale through center, and then exhale right to the other side. Inhale to center and exhale to twist. Inhale through center and exhale to twist the other side. And your next inhale, release only your right hand or whichever hand was tucked, and then place your fingertips or your palms behind you. Inhale, stretch up. And then as you exhale, your hands kind of slide forward and you find that curve, that roundness in the upper back. Inhale back up to sit. And we go through it out again. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale. Inhale through center. And twist. Release that arm from your knee, put your palms behind you and stretch up your chest. And then exhale, hold forward. On this one, plant your palms. If you can release your forearms while you keep your butt grounded, that's great. You do not have to. But just fold to what feels good for you. And just sit here and rest. Maybe give a little roll and release in the shoulders. And now we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. Coming into our tabletop. Finding your tabletop, your wrists under your elbows, under your shoulders, knees under your hips, about hip width apart. Release the tops of your feet to the mat. We're going to take a... Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. We're gonna do like a little cat, cow, child to child's pose flow. So on an inhale, you're gonna lift your chest, drop your belly, and then as you exhale, you draw your hips back, finding your child's pose. Take another breath in here, and then with your next exhale, round as you come up. And then inhale. Exhale, first draws you back. When you get back, take your next inhale. And then on your next exhale, round that cat stretch. Up to neutral. And then another inhale here. Exhale, lowering the hips. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, round through the back. And find your neutral spine. So we're going to do something similar, but with a little bit more ambition. We're going to take a flow similar to that, but we're going to move into down dog instead of child's pose. So curl your toes under for this one so that you can lift into your down dog. And on your inhale, we find that cow, drop your belly, stretch your chest up. As you exhale, you don't necessarily round the back, but we want to lift our hips and go back to down dog. And then we take our inhale here, and then as we exhale, we come forward and find that rounded through the upper back as our knees reach the mat. So again, we inhale, drop the belly. Our first exhale takes us back to down dog, working with inhale here, and then as you exhale, the knees meet the mat, and you find that rounding through the upper back. One more beat. Inhale. Exhale the down dog. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, knees lower, back rounds, big stretch. And find your neutral spine. Maybe wiggle it out, shake your tail a little bit. We're gonna do a little core activation now. So we're gonna take like a little knee to nose. It's kind of a tiger crunch flow. So we're gonna keep the knee bent on an inhale. Bend your left knee, because that's what I'm working with. Send the sole of your feet to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring that knee in as close to your nose as you can get it. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, release. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. One more big crunch. See if you can hug that knee in as close as possible. And go ahead and set that one down. I'll take it right to the other side. And remember, slower is almost better. It burns, but it burns good. Take your time and move with the breath. So inhale, lifts the foot. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, in. Inhale. Your last big crunch. And go ahead and set that one down. Whew. From here, we're going to curl our toes under, come up and back into our downward facing dog. We're gonna take a minute here. I know we did a couple in that flow, but maybe walk the dog a little bit, lowering one heel while keeping the other leg bent. Warming up your calves, your hamstrings, stretching through the back body. Pressing both heels down. Your inhale is going to lift the right leg. As you exhale, crunch that knee in and try to step it through those hands. And we're going to lower the back knee and come into our low crescent lunge. So in this, your front knee is still stacked over your ankle, but you want to resist the urge to stay up here, and you want to let those hips release toward the mat. And you can go ahead and take your arms overhead if it feels good. And we're going to take our crescent lunge half split flow. We've done this one before, so don't get too intimidated. Your inhale is here, you're reaching up nice and big, and then as you exhale, your hips draw back, your front toes pop up, your hands come to the mat and bring them back as much as you need to, forward as much as you need to. Inhale, come back up to that crescent lunge. Exhale, flow back. If your balance is feeling good, you can try keeping the hands off the mat as you inhale, come up. Exhale back. One more deep stretch up. And go ahead and release the hands to the mat. Now we're going to curl under that back toe and lift that up. Don't go back to down dog yet, because we're going to take this into a twist. So your left hand stays planted and your right arm reaches toward the sky, turning toward your right. Release that hand to frame your foot. Step that foot on back to plank pose. And we'll take our vinyasa here, whatever shows up for you today. Making your way up and back into downward dog. Take a moment, reset. And move to the left side. Inhale, lifts the left leg. Exhale, draw that knee in towards your belly and step that foot forward. Go ahead and lower that back knee. Release those toes to the ground. Come up. into our crescent lunge. And from here, we're gonna take our flow. Deep breath in, reach up, and exhale, arms come back, or fingertips to the ground, pop the front toes up. Inhale into your lunge, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. And then one more big stretch up. And we're going to plant the palms now. Curl under those back toes. Lift the knee off the mat if you can. You can keep it down if you need to. And go ahead and twist to your left. You can keep that knee down. You will still feel the twist in your hips.
I feel it.
Go ahead and bring that hand to frame the foot, either straight back to down dog or take a little push with a vinyasa. From your down dog, we're going to make our way to the front of the mat. So however you choose to get there, hop, step, salsa, whatever feels good. And we're going to fold flow here. So on an inhale, do your half lift. Crown of your head reaches toward the front of the room. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Last deep fold. Stay here for a minute. If it feels good, you can place your hands on opposite elbows and encourage your shoulders to release a little bit. You can even sway from side to side if you don't get motion sick. And then go ahead and release your hands and then slowly roll up like you're restacking the spine. Coming all the way up to stand. Take your arms forward and up and windmill them around back behind you and place your palms like right at the top of your butt, the low of your back. And inhale, lift your chest, take a little baby back bend here. And exhale, return to your mountain. Beautiful. We're gonna take a big step out wide here, so you guys might end up facing each other, yeah, so that you can see me a little bit better, but that's totally fine. And from here, we're gonna take our wide-legged forward fold. So whatever distance feels good for you in the legs. Hands come to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, bend from your hip crease. Fold forward, finding the depth that feels good for you. You can keep your hands on your hips, on your thighs, shins, ankles, floor, whatever feels good. Remember to breathe. With every inhale, find that space. Every exhale, maybe you fold a little bit deeper. Bring your hands back to your hips, leading with your chest. Come on, stand it back on up. And we're gonna pivot those toes out. If you need to narrow your stance a little bit for a little bit more stability, heel toe them in, because now we're gonna sink into our goddess pose. Keeping your toes pointed to the right and the left. Come up a little bit so that your chest, yep, there you go. You want to think of tucking your pelvis under and lifting tall through the spine. If your goddess is here, This is where it's at, so that you can keep that integrity in your spine. Integrity over ego. It matters how it feels, not how it looks. It's just us here. No one to impress. Yeah, you can go ahead and maybe wiggle the hips a little bit from side to side.
I know.
Your butt's not on there, don't worry.
It was earlier.
That's okay. So from here, come back into your goddess pose because we're gonna do a little side stretch. You can take both hands behind your head and then go ahead and just stretch over to the right
Or left.
or left, whichever. And if this is as much as you have today, that's fine. If you have a little bit more, you can extend the arms. Feel more of a stretch through your chest, through your shoulders. Coming back to center. Straighten if you need to. Go ahead and take your hands back to behind your head and then stretch the other side. Coming back to center, straightening the legs for just a moment so you can heel toe them in a little bit and come on down to our yogi squat.
Thank you.
Let me get you a yogi block.
This lady needs her block.
Absolutely. So taking your feet a little bit wider than your hips, sink on down into your squat. Maybe wiggle the forearms down a little bit. Press the thighs open. Oh yeah. Just feel into your squat. Such a great release for sitting all day. Our hips need it. It's good for your low back. It all needs it. You do. Don't worry, we're gonna move. We're gonna flow from here, from our squat into a forward fold. So we start here in our squat, and then our palms meet the floor, and then we lift our hips up, finding our forward fold. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, sink back into your squat. Palms back to your chest. Inhale here, and then exhale, palms lower, hips lift. Deep breath in your fold, and then as you exhale, your hips sink, palms return to your heart. You got this. 2 more with your breath. Palms coming down as you inhale, hips lift. And then sink back down. 1 more, palms to the ground, hips lift. And sink back into your squat. Hang out here for a minute. Wiggle around if you need to. If you need a block, there's more behind you. We're not going to be here for much longer. Because we're going to find our way down to the mat. Use your hands to assist. Bring the soles of the feet together. Find our butterfly. Holding onto the toes or the ankles or the shins. If you hold onto the ankles, maybe use the forearms and elbows to press the knees down toward the ground. From here, we're going to extend our right leg out to the side, drawing our left knee in toward the body. Inhale lifts the left arm. Exhale to bend towards that right leg. Keeping your chest turned open. Each inhale, think of finding length through your spine. Each exhale, think of folding into that space. Center and switch to the other side. right knee comes in toward the body, left leg extends out. Inhale lifts the right arm. Exhale to fold. Inhale, make your way back up. And we're going to go ahead and extend both legs out in front of us. Flexing the feet. Make sure you're sitting on those sit bones. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, just take a nice forward fold. Hands land where they land. Inhale, make your way back up. And then we're going to take our right leg, bring it in, and cross it over the left leg. And take our little twist here. You can either take the left arm and hug the right knee, or you can take the left arm to the outside of the right knee. Keeping your straight leg engaged and energetic. And go ahead and release that side. We'll switch to the other side. Right foot crosses over the left, or left foot crosses over the right leg. Go ahead and unwind, and we're going to make our way right back down onto our backs. And kind of finish how we started. Go ahead and bring both knees into your chest, hug it out for a minute, and then draw those little circles on your back again. One direction and then the other. Don't want any spot to feel left out. And then from here, you can let go of the knees and send the soles of the feet to the sky. Grabbing onto the back of your thighs, your shins, the soles of your feet, finding your happy baby, and making this your own. If you want to stretch one leg, keep the other bent, stretch them both out. Really channel your inner baby, like you are laying on your back, playing, and doing whatever feels good in your body. From here, you can release your feet to the floor. And go ahead and let it all the way out. If you want to take a reclined butterfly, or if you want to just stretch your legs out, let your feet splay out to either side. Let your arms rest, palms face up. Let go of your breath. Maybe close your eyes or just soften them a little bit. Ignore the yelling children. And just settle into your Shavasana. When you feel like moving, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. up to a seat. Thanks, friends.
Yes,
It was a wonderful class.